Yo, what's up guys? So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you my top 15 songs of Xenogears. After playing it for the first time in my blind playthrough, I came to find that this game has a fantastic soundtrack, being, one of Mitsuda's prime soundtracks that he made, well, in his prime. And yeah, this soundtrack totally lived up to that expectation because this soundtrack is one of the best he's ever made and one of my favorite video game soundtracks of all time. So out of the 45 tracks of this fantastic OST, I have boiled it down to 15 songs that I think are the best of the entirety of this game. And people are bound to disagree with me, but I don't give a shit because my opinion is always correct. So yeah, let's just jump into this. So my 15th favorite song of the 45 in Xenogears, I have October Mermaid. I think October Mermaid is a very good song for multiple reasons. I do think it is a tad overrated because, obviously it is a very emotional song. It is a very important song regarding Phase Pass and Emeralda. It plays in those types of scenes. And it is a good song, and I think there's a specific part near the middle which makes this song very stand out. But as far as compared to other songs in the soundtrack, I do think it's kind of like basic, may I wager. Now, don't get me wrong, I really like this song, and I really like every song in the soundtrack, really, to an extent, except maybe like the church music. But October Mermaid, it is still a unique enough song in some parts where I think it's cool, it fits the scenes it plays in. I also think it's a bit underused as well, could have been used in some more scenes, but again, it was mainly delegated to being in scenes about Emeralda or the nano machine crap that was going on in this game. So, I do like the song. A lot of people might have it rated higher, and I would disagree. I think it's a bit overrated in that aspect, but otherwise I think it's still good enough to be in my top 15. So yeah, there you go. So number 14, I have the second song you ever hear in this entire monstrosity of a game. It is Bonds of Sea and Flame, or Fire, whatever it's actually called. So the song is really good. It is a very simple melody, but it has this like edge of mysteriousness to it almost. And it's just the type of song you would hear at the beginning of like a very complicated story. And in fact, I think that's exactly what the composer stated, what he was trying to aim for with the song. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, the song is just really peaceful. It's really chill. It really gets you in the mood for like the, mysterious nature of the world of Xenogears. And it's just a very peaceful song that you really can't go wrong with. I mean, if you dislike the song, there's probably something wrong with you. But otherwise, let's just jump into number 13. And at number 13, I have Invasion or Infiltration. None of these titles are ever consistent across the countries. So this song is just really chill. It's like this kind of something you'd hear in like a spy movie almost. It's really unique in that aspect. Definitely one of the more recognizable tracks in the soundtrack here. What makes the song really memorable though is that it plays a lot during the whole tournament arc in Nortune, if that's what it's called. I forgot the exact name. But it plays in that area, and the unique thing about it is that this theme wasn't made specifically for being in that town. It plays in other areas in the game, but they decided to just use this track at that part of the game, which made that place better than it actually was, because that area was kind of one of the more sluggish parts of the game, but the song made up for it. So, that's a good sign of a good song. It's not too complicated, but it's just very distinct, very unique, and just really chill. It's just the type of song you can vibe out to, and it does a good job. So, okay, number 12. My 12th favorite song in Xenogears is The One Who Is Torn Apart. Now, this one's fantastic. When I first heard the song, I was just thinking, what the fuck is going on? Because it plays in this weird-ass scene at a point in the game where you have no idea what's really going on, or Saiten's like talking to this dude on a chair, and there's like these floating paintings or whatever around him, and it just shouts just schizophrenia. It shouts just what the fuck is going on. It's very weird, but the song definitely aids in that vibe, being torn apart, not knowing what is real and what is not. And it's a very good song. It plays a lot near the end of the game as well, when we're dealing with Faye's schizophrenia and him meeting up with his other parts of himself and reuniting in that aspect. And so the title definitely matches someone who is torn apart, literally. But otherwise, yeah, this song is really good. Another really unique one, very creepy, foreboding, and just overall fantastic track, and one of my favorites. Okay, number 11. I have Blazing Knights. So this is one of the battle themes in Xenogears, and I think it's probably one of the best, if not the best one, of the boss themes at least. And I think this one's the best because it's the most distinct. The default battle theme, which I believe is called Deadly Dance or Dance of Death, that one's fine, but it's a very typical RPG battle theme. And the other one being Steel Giants, while that one is also good, again, a little basic in my opinion, but I feel like Blazing Knights is the best because while it doesn't have as much energy really as the other two, it's actually slower paced. It's more distinct because just the slow build up throughout the entire song and it not really paying off is kind of unique. And I also like, it's like a march almost, like the gears you can imagine are just marching towards their destination for a battle or something. And just having that voice clip from that one movie, I forgot what the exact line is saying, but adding weird sound clips like that made the song better and more unique, I feel, and just made it sound kind of mysterious in a way. And it's just a really cool track overall. So yeah. Number 10, I have Gentle Wind Sings. So this song is not played too much throughout the entirety of the game, but it's definitely a very wholesome song. It's the kind of thing you would hear just if you're reminiscing on something, and that does play a few times in those situations in the game. And it's just a very wholesome and sweet song. And it's very gentle, as the title says. And just overall, very good song. I don't have too much to say about this one other than, I like it quite a bit, but, it's good enough. Top 10, so. Okay, number 9, we have an area theme this time, and I think this is the best area theme in the game, I believe, looking at the list. It is Shevat. This song is very, very good. And the reason why I believe it is very, very good is because it is actually, I believe, ahead of its time, considering this game was made in 1998. The song is very good because it sounds like something you would hear in a modern video game. It doesn't sound weird. It sounds like you can follow it, and it sounds very just, let's say it aged well, put it that way. The soundscape, the sound fonts are very high quality. They're very good compared to some of the other sound fonts you get in this game, considering how old it is. But yeah, I mean, this song it's very peaceful, it's very chill. It matches Shevat and the energy of Shevat very well, and it's just very pleasant to listen to. It's the best area theme, I think, in the game. And yeah, it's always just a chill vibe once you ever go to Shevat. So yeah, number 9 rather. The actual number 8 I have is Unstealable Jewel, or The Treasure That Cannot Be Stolen. So funny story about this track, I actually used to not like it very much. I used to think it was kind of basic, it didn't really stand out that much. But once it actually started to play more in-game and I got a better listen to it, it turned out to be one of my favorites. I believe the title is referring to the treasure as far as the Fatima Jewel or whatever, the Fatima Jasper, right? Regarding Bart and all of that. And they actually end up using it more for the more important parts in the game, like when Faye and Ellie reunite at the very end, at the Path of Sephiroth or whatever it is. And yeah, it's just a very nice track, and it plays in a lot of sweet scenes, and it's one of the best, cutscene tracks, I guess you would call it, in the game, or best story cutscene tracks. I don't know. There's not really cutscenes in this game, but yeah, very, very good track. It grew on me immensely. Okay, number 7. So this one actually I see a lot of people not really like for whatever reason, but I don't really get why, because it's really damn good. It's Fuse. I think this is probably one of the best Crisis themes I've ever heard in a video game. It just sounds badass, especially if you've heard the concert 20th anniversary version. It's absolutely insane, the composition, and while I do prefer the concert version, obviously it is higher quality, the in-game version is just as good. I love the techno near the beginning, and I love the general chaotic, just hectic melody going on here. And it just sounds like something out of an action movie. It just sounds badass. And while there isn't too much to the song really, it loops pretty quickly. I think what's here is really fantastic. It's another, again, really unique track amongst the tracks in this game. Really distinctive, and it always just gets at least me hyped whenever it plays. It's just a really high energy track, and it is a lot of my problems with Crisis themes in games. They sound just too hectic. They sound too chaotic. Well, this one keeps that chaotic energy but controls it in a way that's actually fun and cool, and it's overall just one of my favorite tracks. Really underrated one. Okay, number 6, Omen. So I like Omen quite a bit. This plays in a lot of the dungeon tracks, or the like dungeon areas in the game, or in like the lore drop scenes kind of in the game. And it makes sense because the song is very foreboding, very mysterious, and all of that. I believe it's actually called Foreboding in one of the translations, but in any case, Omen is just a great song. It's, again, another distinctive one, a very like creepy track in a way. That's like, it does sound like this world has some old secrets that, you know, the characters eventually discover. And the song just is really fitting in the areas that it plays. You could argue it's a little overused, but the song is just so good that, like, you know, it overrides that repetitiveness in how much it's used. So yeah, as good of a song this is, it deserves number 6, I believe. Okay, number 5. I have this as the highest rated battle theme in the game. I have Awakening. Now, I didn't really like this one. Again, this is another one that kind of grew on me. But what I really appreciate about this song is, considering you are fighting Deus at the end of this game, you know, kind of the entire reason why anything is happening here, and how this song, being its boss theme, or like it's technically a final boss theme, but being Deus' boss theme, having it call back to the cutscene music where he is being awakened in the initial first cutscene of the game, have it call back to the motifs in that song into the final boss theme when you finally fight him at the end of the game, is really cool. And I think this song just narratively is very good. It calls back to something we heard way back in the beginning, but is overall just a banger. It's just really cool, and it really does sound like you were fighting like a fucking alien god of some sort. And overall, it's just one of my favorite tracks. It made top 5, so it really grew on me. Alright, number 4. This one's one of my personal favorites. I love this one. I have the Blue Traveler. I love this one. I think it's a little underused in-game, but when this shit plays, dude, it just puts you in like a triumphant good mood, man. And it plays in places in the game just like that, in very triumphant moments when the characters, you know, overcome some sort of strife or win some sort of encounter. It plays in those areas, and it achieves that feeling of triumphantness very well. And I also like the title. It's very, like, you know, it's just very cool. It's artistic, and you know, the song is just very adventurous, triumphant, and I love those kind of songs. And in a game as dark and gritty and as fucked up as Xenogears, having a song like this is always warm and welcome. So yeah, I love this one. Okay, number 3. This one used to be my favorite track in the game, but since then, since I beat the game, it has since then been toppled. Number 3, I have Valley Where Wind Is Born. Now, this song I just love. It's just so wholesome, so sweet, it's just so childish, but you can't help but love it. The xylophone, I believe, is what makes this song. And I feel like the reason why I actually prefer the original orchestration of the song over like the eventual remakes or the concert version that we got is that xylophone. It's that, because that element of the song really made it into what it was. It made it sound like childish, like a child is almost playing the xylophone. It's a very innocent song, and it really brings me back to the beginning of the game where you first encounter Satan as Faye, and you know, it just reminds me of Satan and Faye's like wholesome relationship in many ways, and you know how Satan is very kind man, and you know, very intelligent, very giving, and Faye's just kind of like this dude who has amnesia, so he's trying to recalibrate back into society. But then, you know, you have this dude Satan who's helping him out. Like, I just love that, and this song really reminds me of their relationship, I believe. And you know, disregarding the fact that, you know, what Satan does later in the game, this song is just very wholesome, and I absolutely love it. I wish it was played more, but yeah, just excellent stuff. Okay, number 2, I have the ending theme, Small Two of Pieces. Now, I believe this is probably the best vocal song in the entire Xeno franchise, period, to be honest. And it's the first one, so yeah, go figure. But I believe this is one of the best vocal songs, period, and one of the best songs in this game, because it's just a fantastic orchestration, fantastic singing by Joanne, and overall, just like it. If you haven't heard this song, you need to give it a listen, regardless if you've played Xenogears or you even played the series at all. It's just a fantastic song, really well orchestrated, really well sung, and yeah, it's just an amazing way to end this fantastic game. And then lastly, number 1, my favorite song of Xenogears, we have Soaring. Now this song, it is not used to its full extent, I believe, in the game. And I'm talking to you, Choo Choo. How could you fucking ruin the song like this? But this song is the best in the game, I believe, in my opinion. Now, while the original orchestration is very good, it's nice, very triumphant, very good. However, I do believe the re-orchestrated version in one of the Myth CDs that Mitsuda released is the best version. In that it is actually orchestrated with real instruments, it is recorded live, and it really lets you hear the extent and the grandiosity of the song to its full potential. Now, I guess I am kind of cheating because, you know, this song, like, I'm technically in favor of the remade version that came out years later, but the original is still very good, and I would still consider the original orchestration of the song my favorite in the game. It is just so heroic, triumphant, even more triumphant than Blue Traveler. It just sounds like the heroes really won, you know, and I wish this was played more in the game, especially considering the terrible circumstances our characters find themselves in. Having music like this in the game that plays from time to time really makes these songs more effective than they otherwise would be. And Soaring is just that, it's a soaring piece of music. It really makes you feel like you're flying. And I recommend, if you've never heard this game soundtrack or this song, that you not only listen to the original orchestration that's played in game, but you listen to the various versions that have been made by Mitsuda in the live concert version in the 20th anniversary soundtrack, and as well as the Myth CD's version of the song. They're absolutely amazing, and I think they are the best song in the entirety of Xenogears. And yeah, it's just fantastic work. So that is my top 15. Let me know what your top 15 are. I know there's a ton of songs in this game. Actually, there's really not. There's only 45, but you know, I love every song in this game, but these just happen to be my favorite 15 of them. So, you know, what songs do you think should have been in the list? Let me know. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.